Good morning, all.
Morning,
Hope
sir.
you're able to hear me.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Today I'm going to discuss about the most important. See, whenever we are keeping our resume as an like experienced resume, and we mentioned that we worked under support project, or we worked in as implementation project, or any rollout project, or any upgradation project. So definitely they'll try to check whether what is the knowledge on our transport request part, transport request. Okay. One second. One second. Okay. So what do you mean by transport request? What do you mean by a transport request? Right? For example, if we do, there are two types of transport requests. There are two types of transport requests. Okay. One is customized or configuration or modification. Modification, TR. Normally we call it as a TR, transport request. Transport request. Another one, we have workbench request. Workbench request. Okay. What is the difference between customized configuration or modification request and workbench request? So first I'll just give a glance on this. So whatever changes, whatever configurations we have done, okay, in SAP system as a consultant, functional consultant, okay, whatever data we are saving, or okay, whatever data we are saving in general, we call it as a folder. In a Windows terminology, we call it as a folder, but in SAP we call it as a request. We call it as a request folder. We call it as a request. So why we will call it as a transport request? In the sense, see, as we know that the system landscape would be, one second, as we know that system landscape is yeah, see, for example, we will have a development server. Next one, we have quality server. Next one, we have production server. Production server. Okay. So whatever configuration, for example, normally development server will have, for example, there is a client called 100. Okay. 110 client. I'm taking example in real time. Also in development server, we will have different clients in normal scenario, and 120 client. Okay. 120 client. Fine. This particular server will have functional consultant, same time ABAP consultant, and this is development testing. Development testing. Okay. So in real time also, we will have these server, development server. We will have different clients in development server, at least minimum two servers two clients we will have, or three clients, or more than that also, according to requirement of your client, customer requirement. So this is nothing but whatever I said, all the configuration, I'm taking example, as we know that 000 to 999, anything we can have as a client number. Okay, functional, this is functional client, functional consultant, nothing but FICO consultant, or MM consultant, or SD consultant, FICA consultant, whoever will have access to this particular client. Clear? All the configurations, right? All the configuration changes will be done in this particular client. All these changes will be done in this particular client. Okay. Then one more client we will have, that is 110 client. What I'm taking 110, that is nothing but we'll have a technical changes. So for example, there is a requirement. We know that there is a SAP has provided standard business processes. Okay. So if we are, as I said, that I'm taking 100 client, my client is having, for example, I'm taking client as an Reliance or Usmania University. Okay, there are number of departments, number of different business processes, right? There are 70 to 80 departments are there in Usmania University. Okay, so here 70 departments are there. Okay, so all the 70 departments will have a different business processes. Okay, so with the standard SAP, we are able to map 60 business processes directly. Mapping client business processes with SAP standard business process. Okay, this is standard we can able to map, right? How many we are not able to map? 10 business processes. 10 business processes we are not able to map our client business process with SAP standard business process. So these are called gaps. These are called gaps. Okay, how many gaps are there? So total 10 business processes. And same time, out of 10 business processes also, okay, two business processes we can map. I'll tell you what do you mean by validations and substitution. We can map by, okay, by writing validations and substitutions by functional consultant. We have one session, probably tomorrow only I'll take this session. Validations and substitute. This is 100% guaranteed interview point of view question. So whenever we say that I have involved in implementation project or support project, so definitely they will ask you any validations have you developed. We are not supposed to say no, because 100% if you're involved in any project, any support project or implementation product, definitely we need to involve. We will write at least one or many validations and substitutions. Okay, so we can validations and business process, we can map by writing validations and substitutions. So what do you mean by validations and substitution? As I said that in early system also, as a FI consultant or a CO consultant, we are not going to write a single line program. But validations and substitution, we will write simple conditions. That's it. Simple conditions. For example, after payment run, we will do payment run in SAP. Everyone knows. Okay, in F110. Okay, in or whatever F110, we are doing a payment run, right? And we are getting our format, a printout format. We are getting in A4 size format. For example, I'm just giving an example. A4 size format. Okay, A4 size format. But This is, you know, everyone. So, but what is my client requirement? Customer specification is they want in portrait mode. Portrait mode. Okay. So they want the F110 program, whatever printouts after running a program, payment program, the client requirement is actually normally as per SAP standard, whenever we take the printout, it will come as an A4 size format, for example, or it is by default, it is coming in portrait mode. But my client requirement is that need to be in A4 size. If it is coming in A4 size, then it in portrait mode. Clear? So we will try. And one more example, one more validation we can have. For example, parking a document. Everybody knows we will park a document, right? What is my client requirement in the sense? What is my client requirement is, for example, posting date. Posting date. What is posting date here? Whenever I'll park a document, okay. Last week I have, for example, on 5th of February, I have parked one document. I have parked one document due to some reasons. Okay. And after, like on 9th, normal SAP standard, what it will do on 9th, I want to post the park document. So what it will take, posting date, it will take it as an posting date. It will take as an 9th of February. Correct? And in SAP standard, we can edit the posting date at the time of posting the transaction. Is that correct or not? Can we edit the posting date?
Yes, Naveen.
We can edit the posting date. We can date a backdated or we can date the current date once we park the document. But what is my client requirement? Again, I'm saying it's a real-time scenario. What is my client requirement is initially, my client requirement is whenever we park the document, 2 times they come back. Whenever we park the document, okay. So for example, as I said that 0502, it is parked. Okay. And what was the requirement is posting date is not supposed to be editable. Normally SAP standard, we can edit the posting date. So my client requirement is posting date is not editable. Okay, means whatever date you park the document, the same date it should take at the time of posting. Means 0502 only it has to take, not any other date. It is not supposed to be editable. Clear? For all the users. For all the users. Clear? So this is my client requirement. Okay. So for example, we have developed a validation by giving some condition, by writing some, I'll show you that also. Okay. First, I'm just trying to understand what do you mean by workbench request and what do you mean by customized request. Okay. So here A4 size, and as I said that F110, you are trying to give the printout. It is taking as an A4 size mode, but my customer is required portrait mode. Right? So for that, we have written a validation. Okay, done. It is working. So validation, who will write the validations and substitution? I'll explain again and again. I'm reiterating. Next session, I'll take validations and substitution. Okay. So who will run this F110 in the sense end user will run, and the requirement will be received by functional consultant, FI consultant, and we will make a changes by giving a validations, and we will convert that into portrait mode. And same time here also, one more request we have received from our client. Okay, so it could be applicable for your support project. So these two are because after moving to production, client requirement got changed. Then they will raise a ticket. Okay, and that will move to your what we call supporting team, support consultant. So what support consultant will do, for example, we have written a validation for not to edit SAP posting date. Okay. So after that, again, so this we have done, we have saved in one request, one folder, transport request folder. Okay. And after that, I'll tell you what is the movement it will have. And after that again, the client came with one query because we will do some month-end adjustments. Month-end adjustment, or for all the user, they came up with current date should be your posting date. It should not be editable. So whatever date it will take system date as a, again, I'm saying the requirement was like this. It should take whatever date as an parked date that should be taken as an posting date, or they may come up with, for example, I'm posting on 05, 02, 0502, I'm parking. Okay. But here, see, when we try to post the document, for example, user is new, he didn't check the posting date, but my client want, as per SAP standard, it need to be taken today's date. For example, today is 17/2. So we are posting on 17/2. Posting date. So automatically, if I'm not writing any this one, validation and substitution, it will take current date as an, it will take 5/2 as a posting date. So we manually need to change to current date as a 5/2. Clear? So what happens here? What happens? So my client want the system, my client requirement is now, earlier if we release from park, it will show date as in 0502. Okay, so manually we need to change from 05 to 1702. 1702. Manually we need to change 17th Feb. Okay, but if user forgot to change this date, okay, then then it will take it as in 052 only. Clear? So manually we need to change as per SAP standard. Okay, so here there are many errors from the user side, that they are not changing posting date because they parked the date, they parked the invoice on 5th, and they want to post the invoice on 17th, but users are new, SAP is new for them. So what they have done, they have just changes whatever expense account and the GL accounts, and they have posted, but they didn't change the posting date. They didn't change the posting date. So all the documents are posting on 5th February, which is incorrect posting date. Okay. So now my client requirement is, so this is SAP standard. Okay. What is my client requirement? Client requirement is posting date should be taken system date or server date automatically, and it should not be edited by any user. This is a requirement. Understood this? This requirement? Yes,
Yes,
no?
sir.
Clear? So what is my client requirement? Client requirement is posting date should be taken as system date or server date. Okay. So there may be a 4 hours difference between your system and server date. So that has to be taken automatically. Okay. And it should not be edited by any user. Clear? So yes. So even this is also, we have written a validation and validation we have written for this particular requirement as a functional consultant. Means only simple condition we have given. You the posting date equals to system date. Okay. Users, all users, and we have given ineditable. So we have given the condition like that. Okay. So automatically what happens? The posting date, it will take current system date and no one will edit it. And we have done this validation and we have moved from development to quality. Quality, we have done the testing. Development also we have done the testing, and quality also we have done the testing by with the core team members, and we have moved to production. Any issues with this particular step? Any issues? Any issues? Understood everyone, this particular requirement?
Yeah.
Anyone have a questions on this? See, we can mention in our resumes the same, almost all. Validation and substitution. Okay, so here the problem is again, what would be the problem if I fix the posting date with ineditable mode? What would be the challenge? Think as you are an end user. What would be the challenge? You consider yourself as a business. What would be the challenge?
Exact date will be getting to be editable, right?
That's what SAP standard, it is editable, but my client want it not supposed to be edit. That's the reason we have written a validation. So when we return it as a validation, then it will show it as a grade. So we can't change the date, posting date.
Okay, once we have been given the date, that is fixed.
Exactly.
So,
Means
so Naveen,
once we have written a validation, after writing a validation, okay, validation is nothing but as a functional consultant, we are giving the condition. Okay, we can give the condition. Okay, so the posting date, I made it as an ineditable.
okay, until before validation, we can editable.
Yes, that is a
After
SAP standard.
validation, so it is securable.
Yes, but my client doesn't want that has to be edit. He don't want, he or my client doesn't want, it has to be edit.
so
Okay,
Naveen,
got it.
if we have parked the invoice in the month of January and now we got the resolution in month of February, if we want to post it, the period will be closed.
Mhm.
So how the user can post? Because
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what the two things is posting date is something different. So posting date, what we can do, we will have access to our GL team or some other this one. So we can open the team for the we can open that particular period for January for only for this particular invoice. Once we post this invoice, then automatically we will request them to close the period for that particular time.
okay.
That will not be a challenge. Okay, that is also a challenge, but still we will discuss about it. But here my question is, if I am taking posting date as an inedit, not editable, so what would be the biggest challenge from the client? What would be the biggest challenge?
So if the period is closed, then it will be having a challenge.
Period is closed. That's what I'm saying. Period can be opened and it can be posted on the current date. Again, it will be posted on. If your period is open, you can propose the invoice, not a challenge. But what date it will take? What date it will take? You are parking the invoice in the month of January, and okay, if the period was closed and you requested to open a period, but the date it will take the system date, it will take it as on 17th Feb.
So I think Naveen, the posting date will show a different period because maybe we have parked this invoice past 15 days back. So
Correct.
I think date impact will be there.
Yes. So what happens is, for example, as we know that in accounting, month-end activities we will do. We will write few adjustment entries, right? Backdated entries. So here, when it is ineditable, then you can't post any backdated entries. Correct? For example, I'm in workday 1 or workday 2 or workday 3, right? I need to post from a few adjustment entries in the previous period.
Will
Correct?
affect on MIS reports.
Same thing. 31st January, I need to post the entry. So here, if okay, periods are open, as you said, 17th Feb in the sense, again, it is, if I open a period or close the period, it is irrelevant for me because it is taking a date of 17th Feb, which will be, the entries will be posted for the current period, not for the previous period. Right? So for that, what is the specification you are going to receive from the client? Again, see, once this validation is written, then what is the condition or what is the requirement you are going to receive after writing this validation, in the sense after a month or something? So client requirement will change now. Client requirement will change now. Client requirement is now, okay, posting date should be editable only for few users. Okay, only for few users, and for other users, it's not supposed to edit. Hope you got this point now. Right? So what is your client requirement now? They came up with, first of all, SAP standard. We can change the posting date. Okay. But here client requirement is posting should be taken. System server, that is done. Now the client requirement is got changed. Okay. They face a lot of issues. So client requirement is posting date should be editable for few users. For few users. And for other users, it is not supposed to be edited. Means, for example, there are 15 users are there. So 5 users, they are responsible for the posting month end activities. And other 10 are not responsible. Okay. So for those 5 users, okay, those 5 users, the posting date should be get changed. Okay. Then this particular requirement, for example, if we try to do a validation, if we try to do some we are trying to do to write some validation. So there is a high chances. Again, I'm saying it's not 100%, but there is a high chances, 98% chances. Okay. We know that in every transaction, we will have header data. Okay. BKPF table and BSEC table, it will store the data. BKPF and BSEC table, you know, we have already discussed. So we can write a validation. We can write a validation for this also by taking users and all. Okay. But here there is a high chances, 98% chances this would be misfire if we write. There is 100%, 98% possibility is there. The validation would be misfire, means the output would get something different, not accurate. Means, see, first of all, we tried to write a validation from our end, functional consultant. Clear? And we have done all the validation and all the conditions we have given. And when we are trying to test, sometimes what happens is, if you are trying to test in your development server and quality server, sometimes what happens is it will show success, completed successfully. But sometimes when it moved to production server, there is a chance of misfire. Clear? So again, I'm saying 3 conditions. Sometimes it will be misfire in your development server only, or sometimes it will, after moving development server, it is not misfired, it is working fine. Okay, when I move to quality server, so there is a possibility that the whatever validation we have written, that would be work perfectly, or there is a possibility of misfiring, right? And same time, that same, if it is not misfiring, then it is everything working fine. Then then it is moved that the data is moved to production. So there is a 98% possibility, these kind of requirement, there is a chance of misfire. Clear, everyone? So here that this point of requirement, these kind of requirement, if we are not able to make out through validation, if we are not able to fulfill through validations, then we will approach technical team. We will, a functional consultant will approach technical consultants. Okay, they are nothing but ABAPers. Okay, and we will explain first of all what are the things we have done the changes and what was the result outcome. The outcome we will explain to our ABAPers. Okay, and we'll explain the end-to-end requirement. End-to-end requirement of client. End-to-end requirement of client, and same thing, we will explain everything. So here we will write, first of all, if any changes is required, then we need to write FS. FS is nothing but, they will ask you in interview, have you ever been involved in FS? So they don't mention it as a functional specification. Okay. So whenever we said that we have involved in validation and substitution, or we have involved in implementation project, first question, whenever you say that end-to-end implementation of we have involved in the sense, definitely they will ask you from which phase you have started you have involved in the project, which phase. Clear? So for example, you say that I have involved in realization phase. So what are the FS you have prepared? So if you don't know what is FS, because for example, we are working as an end user and we have changed our end user profile as an SAP profile. So normally we will not aware of what is FS. So FS is nothing but functional specifications. And very soon, as before mock interviews, I'll show you how to prepare a functional specifications end to end, the requirements. Clear? So just mention it as an FS is nothing but functional specification. Okay. So then we will write a functional specification. We will write functional specification and all the requirements of the customer and how the as is working. Okay. Then next we will give it to our ABAP consultant, ABAP, right? So then this, as I said that, so whatever changes we as a functional consultant we have done, whatever changes functional consultant has done, whatever changes functional consultants are done and moving to transport request, that request we call it as a modification or modifiable request, or okay, configuration request or customization request. Okay. No, it's not stopped, Sana. Recording is working. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Configuration or customization request. So whatever functional consultant we will do. Okay. Same time, now we have done whatever changes, we are failed to do the changes, right? Then ABAPer has by writing a program, after giving a confirmation, they will give the date, tentative date or something, that it will take 2 months time or 3 months time. Okay. So first we need to take the deadline of time, how much time it is going to, because ABAPers in each project, ABAP, if we are functional consultants or 10 or 15, then ABAPers will be there hardly 2 or 3 people in normal implementation, 2 or 3 people. So they need to take lot of things from lot of information we need to give to ABAP consultant. So they will be busy round the clock. Again, I'm telling you. So they will say that, okay, this is a requirement, how much time it is going to take. So for 2 months or 3 months, then the same thing we need to convey the same to our client also, customer. Okay. And after 3 months, they have developed the object. So then whatever developments, okay, technical consultants, here nothing but ABAPers, technical consultants are done, then those objects also need to transport. Okay, and that transport request, we call it as workbench request. So there are 2 types of request. One is customized request or modified request, or okay. The next one is workbench request. So modification request or change request, whatever we call. Okay. Next one, that is done by functional consultant, and workbench request will be performed by whom?
Technical consult.
Technical consultant. That is nothing but your ABAPers. Okay. Any questions on this? Any questions?
Navin, I have a question here.
Please.
So Navin, you said that there is 98% chances of misfiring. So if we move that particular change in the production system, so
Mhm.
if we have tested in the quality and the results, outcome we have got as a positive, and if we move that to the development system, but in development it's failing.
Yes.
So it will impact the entire production process, right?
No, it's not going to impact entire production. Only that particular here. What is the issue? Only posting date issue, correct?
Yes.
Okay, only what is the change here? Only the posting date change here, right? So whatever parked document, see, in production system, they have parked few documents. And when they are pulling the parked document, when they are trying to pull the parked document, it is showing an error, right? Either it will not impact both the header level and line item level. Either it will affect on either header level or a line item level. Clear. So immediately what they will do, see, whenever they are trying to post the document, the system will not allow. That's what misfire in the sense. Okay, the output is showing something different. So immediately what they will do, immediately they will raise a request that when they are trying to change the few users can change the date, right? So then they will raise a request stating that with the screenshots, they will raise a request. We are getting this kind of error. So it will not going to impact the complete transaction or a master data.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Any other questions from anyone? So first of all, try to understand what do you mean by a request. A request is nothing but whatever changes. Okay, whatever configuration changes or customized changes, right? That will be stored in one particular folder. That folder in SAP, we will call it as a transport request. In SAP, we will call it as a transport. Why we can call it as only a request, but why we are calling it as a transport in the sense, so whatever objects we developed, that's not going to be stayed in that particular client only and in that particular server only. Clear? That has to move within the server, that has to move from one client to another client, and same time it has to move from one server to another server. Clear? With movement between two clients or more clients, or one server to another server. So there is a movement. So that is a reason we call it as a transport. We call it that's the reason SAP has given a truck symbol for the movement. I'll show you that also. Clear? So that's the reason. See, that's the reason we will try to, at the time of configuration, okay, at the time of configuration, we will try to save all the configurations in one transport request so that it is easy to us from moving in development client. For example, 100 client, 110 client is there. So few object we have developed in 100 client, and that has to be tested in development 110 client. So if we are giving different transport request numbers, then it is very challenged for us, okay, to move each and every object thoroughly, right? That is the reason we will try to save in one request number only, so that we will take that request number and we will move it. Clear? Same time, we need to move from development to quality. So development to quality, if I'm having only one transport request number, clear, then it's easy to move from development to quality. Again, I'm reiterating, within the client, functional consultant can move the transport request from one client to another client, okay, within development. And if I want to move the objects from development to quality, functional consultant can move, okay, majority functional consultant can move from development to quality also. Okay, and quality also, all the testings are done. All the testings are done. Again, where we need to do, if everything is fine, where we need to move? Which server do we need to move? Production server. So production server, the functional consultant cannot move in real time. Functional consultant cannot move, okay, the transport request from quality to production server. So for that particular request, we need to give the request number to our basis consultant. Basis, there is another technical consultant will be there, that is basis consultant. So those basis consultant will move the transport request from quality server to development server. We need to send through email, we need to send through email or whatever request. Okay, once they move from quality server to production server, then they will reply back stating that this particular transport request has been moved from quality to production server, whatever client you will mention. Clear? So within a client, in development server and a quality server, we can, a functional consultant can move it. Okay. Development server, if there are 3 clients are there, we want to move the data from one client to another client, another client to another client. Okay, 100, 110, 120, 100 to 110, 110 to 120. In development client, we can move it. Okay, and after doing all the requirements, then if we want to move from development to quality, clear? So development to quality also we can move. Development to quality also we can move. Okay, development to quality in the sense, development to quality we can move. Within the quality also, again, I'll explain this. For example,
So,
this is my,
Naveen,
yes, sir. Go ahead.
yeah, so Naveen, if the whatever testing we have done and if in the production system it has failed, so can we that change can be reversed? Like,
Yes,
can we
yes,
reverse?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or
No.
like generally what happens? Is it reversed or do
It will
we
be
write
recalled. It
another?
will be recalled.
Okay, recalled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Naveen,
Yes, sir.
I was asked one question by the interviewer. So what is pre-production client?
Before that, pre-production, again, that's what I'm saying. In production also, you can have a segregation. Okay, for example, your client 400 is your production client. In the production server only, you will have one more client. Okay, one more client will be there. For example, 400, I said 410 is your production client. 400 is your pre-production client. All the master data and everything will be maintained in pre-production client. So yeah, that is nothing but your copy client of production system. Understood?
Okay, Naveen, got it. If we get any errors, so that we can see here why the error is getting.
Yes, that is nothing but your copy.
Okay, got it.
So here, for example, let me change this. See, again, I'm going here. So here, for example, take this as a development server. Okay, development server. So in development server, I'm having different clients, 100, okay, 110. Okay, these 2 clients I'm having, 110 client, development objects, and development testing. Development testing. Okay, development testing. So whatever client I have moved, next one I'm having quality server. In quality server also, I'm having 2 clients, 200, 210. Okay, 200 and so here 200 development server you will have in real time. I'm saying you will have your own user ID and password for both your own user ID and password in real time saying. So in development server and development testing, you will have your own user ID and your own passwords. You can create it. And same thing in quality server, whatever I'm saying, 200. Okay, same, your own user ID and your own user password. Next one, here in 210 client, for example, this is called firefighting ID. Firefighting ID. See, somebody said, so here firefighting ID is nothing but not all the functional consultant will have this particular ID access. Only few consultants. For example, in FICO, for example, FI consultants are there. 5 consultants are there. Few are associate consultant out of 5. 2 are associate consultant. 1 is associate senior consultant. Another person is a senior consultant. So 2 people are senior consultant. 1 is associate senior consultant. Another one is associate consultant. Okay. So here this firefighting ID access will be given. Normally I'm saying, okay. So senior consultants. So whatever senior consultant in each module, not only FICO, SD, right? Whatever FICA, whatever PS, whatever modules are there, all the senior consultant will have this firefighting ID. And this is not our own user ID and password. It will have a common user ID and common password. Common password. Clear? So in interview, they might ask you, like, if you mention it as an I have involved in implementation project and my designation was senior consultant, 5+ years. Definitely, if you are mentioning 5+ years experience, then definitely we will mention it as a senior consultant. So immediate question, do you had a firefighting ID access? Right? Then sometimes you need to have a knowledge whether you have it or not. That is a different. What do you mean by firefighting ID access? Firefighting ID access is nothing but it will not be given to all the access. This is nothing but your copy of your quality server, right? So whatever objects are tested, so that will be integrated directly to other modules in quality also. Clear? So here you can do unit testing, unit-wise testing you can do here, but here we can do integrated testing in 210 client. Okay, so normally that will be given to firefighting ID, common ID to all the senior consultant of different modules, 1 or 2% from each team. FI 2%, CO 2%, right? HR 2%, FICA 2%, PS 2%, like that. Asset maintenance 2%. So here, this particular firefighting ID will be common. It will not be our own user IDs and password. This will be given common user ID and common passwords to few consultants. Okay, so here the data will be moved. How? Now, so here what we need to do, for example, first we have developed the object in development server, correct? Development server. Then the data need to move from 100 client to 110 client for development testing. Okay, and everything is fine. Everything is fine here. Then this particular data need to move from development server to quality client. So here this data will be moved from quality. So who can do here within the client, within server, one client to another client. This is one server to another server. So as a functional consultant, this activity we can do it. This activity we can do it. But next, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Next one, we have one more server, that is production server. Okay. Again, in production server, we have 2 clients. Okay. Client 300, as you said, pre-production client. Pre-production client and 320 production, real production. Okay, so here we want to move the data from 200 to 320. This is nothing but copy. Okay, first you can copy to 300 or automatically it will move to, we need to move to production. So here we, as a functional consultant, we can't move the TR from quality server to production server. Okay, within this we can do it as a functional consultant in real time. Okay, but here we can't move. We need to take the help of basis consultant. Basis consultant will move the TR from quality server to production server. Is this clear? Any questions here? I'll show you how to move and all now. Any questions in this?
Naveen, I have a question, might be a silly question.
Not an issue.
What is the difference between the pre-production client and production client?
Production client is nothing but pre-production client is nothing but a kind of data you are going to store, master data or transactional data. a kind of backup. Okay, we are not going to do any transactions here. Automatically, it will take, whenever you do a production here, automatically it will take a backup from production client to pre-production client. Clear?
Yeah. Okay.
Naveen, can we assume as pre-production as in a trial version?
Not trial version. It's a same client only, but it will maintain a backup kind of thing in pre-production client. It's not
So
then
now-
in production client, we do not have any backup.
So this is pre-production itself is a backup.
Okay, whatever we are doing in production client, it would be automatically saving in the
Updated,
pre-production.
yes, every 24 hours there is a time gap. So in the initial stages I have explained, so automatically it will take a backup.
Okay,
And these server will not be client, these servers will not be maintained at one place. Different locations. Yeah.
got it.
Any other questions?
Naveen,
In
Yes, sir.
student server, we have common user ID and password, right?
Student server. Yes, common user IDs and password. Common in the sense from different modules.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here multiple members at a time login possible, huh?
Not possible. We need to request because it's not possible. At a time, only one person can log in.
Okay.
So
Naveen.
Naveen, can you explain another time the firefighting ID? What is the usefulness of it?
Firefighting ID is nothing but, for example, if you want to test anything with the integration level, not a unit wise, means only FI if you want to check, you can check in quality. Okay.
Okay.
If I want to check with integrations like FIMM integration, FISD integration, FICA integration, FIHR integration, clear. Then at that time, this particular client I need to enter, I need to do the testing.
Okay, got it.
Any other questions from anyone?
Naveen, from my side,
Mhm.
like Naveen, like in asset accounting, can we reverse the depreciation, Naveen?
What do you mean? That is a transactional activity. That is different and this is different. Yes, we will have some options to do it. That is a transactional.
Okay, no, I was asked by the interviewer. So, for example, if the client have been posted depreciation for 6 months, then he want to reverse. Then how you are going to do? He asked me.
Entire complete thing, it will be get affected if you want to reverse. All the 6 months data will be get affected.
Oh, okay, Naveen.
Yeah, because it's a master data. Okay. Any questions still here? Any questions?
Naveen, one more query.
Please.
We will have only one user who can operate at a time, or we will be having any access for multiple user once we get the production.
Which one you're asking?
The production client server.
You will have in production client, whatever users are using, everyone will have a separate user ID and password.
They
So
can log
whatever,
into one
if
time
you are
and
an
they
end user, right, you are working under a production client. So you will have
Yeah.
definitely your own user ID and your own password.
No. What I'm asking is, suppose yourself and myself and one more person from our call, they can log in at a time in the one application.
Production client.
Huh.
Mhm.
We can log in, or we have to wait for one more.
Production client, it will not get affected because the user IDs are different, right? So you're talking about training version.
Yes.
Training version, in training version also, you will have a different user ID and different password.
My
If user
question
ID is also same, but passwords
when
are
we are
different.
parking the document F110 by using the code, 3 persons of one of from our training only, 3 persons at a time, they can log in into that.
Yes, of course.
F110, it can be affected again.
It will not get affected.
Oh, that's my question. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anyone?
Sir, is this client numbers are fixed or
No,
it will be varied?
No, it's going to be changed. I'm just taking an example. In real time, it would be anything. Okay.
So for
From
practicing,
0
we
to
are using
999.
800 clients, sir.
In practice environment, we are using 800 client. And again, S4 Hana, again, earlier in ECC version, 800 client is used to only for training purpose. But now when S4 HANA server is introduced, even client is also using 800. Okay, earlier in the initial classes, you remember I said never use the term 800 client. But in S4 HANA version, few clients I saw like recently, very recently, that few clients are using 800 client also. Few customers are using 800 client. Does it not training version? That is their own original version only, 800 client. Okay, so 800, again, I'm reiterating, don't use the 800 client, just use anything apart from 800 series, use any number. So except what are the numbers we are not supposed to use in the sense 000 client, client number 000, whether remember or not, I have mentioned earlier also. Okay, 800 client. Okay, don't use. And next one, 000 client. Next one, 066 client. Clear? So these client numbers and 001. These numbers, please do not use it. Okay, these client numbers, okay, 001. Do not use these clients. Understood? These are SAP predefined clients, right? Apart from these 4 clients, from 000 to 999, from 000 to 999, use any client number apart from this. Okay. Apart from this, use any number from 000 to 999, except these 4 numbers. Or 800 series, don't use at all. Any questions here? These are SAP. This is for training purpose. 800 series. And already I have explained what is 000 early watch, right? 066 early watch client. Fine. Any questions here? If you want, you can check my notes, the previous notes. Yes, no. So we'll see how to move the transport request. Now you try to understand in the entire thing. I want to explain you what do you mean by a workbench request, customized request, clear, and what do you, just I have given what do you mean by a validation and when the ABAP requirement will be there for us. So definitely they are gonna ask you, did you ever worked with the customization or ABAP along with the ABAP? So you can take these examples, whatever I mentioned here, that my client requirement is print out PDF format. It is showing in portrait. They need an A4 size or A4 size or portrait, right? Same thing, the same specification or any report you can. Okay. So, but definitely we will have a session, complete session on validation and substitution. Fine.
Sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just want to share one information like
Yeah.
To move the changes from quality to production. You said we will drop a mail to basis team, right?
Correct.
So in our project, we are having the standard calls on Wednesday and Friday.
Okay.
So we'll be presenting the changes. Like we will be explaining that what the changes we have made. Whatever all the changes are there, not only FI, even the other module people also will be presenting in the standard calls.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want to share that info.
Yeah, means you are not going to send an email, so you will share that in a call so that they will
Yeah.
move the transport, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what company to company, it's a different. See, few companies send through an email, some company through Teams also. Some companies, as you said, the calls, some companies will raise a request. So it's again differ from company to company organization. But normal standard, what I saw the previous event, my current organization, we will send an email. Same thing, my previous, normally whatever companies I saw, so they will send an email only.
Yeah. No, I just want to share like
Yeah, it's fine.
in our
Thank you.
project we have. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. Okay.
And I mean, do we have any practical classes on this, like how to do it in SAP?
I'm trying to do, I'll try to
That's
show one transport request, how to create a transport request and how to move. I can show only because we have only client 800 access only for training environment. So in that only I'll try to do at least. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
fine.
Okay. Normally, what kind of things will be moved in transport request in the sense? What are the things will be moved in transport in the sense? Okay. For example, in SAP, So what are the things? The data would be, okay. What type of data we will move from SAP to transport request in the sense? Try to understand. Transaction. We have two, as we know that, how many types of transaction, how many types of screens we have? How many types of screens we have in SAP? Two types of screens, right? One is easy access screen and one is SPRO screen. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. Here it is, for example, SAP easy access screen or okay, end user screen or SPRO screen. SPRO screen. So what kind of data will be moved? So means, for example, okay. So here, SAP easy access screen, and we have one more SPRO screen. So out of these two screens, what kind of data will be moved? Which screen data will be moved as a transport request? So here in SAP easy access screen, we have transactional data, So we know that transactional data, what is the difference between transactional data and master data? Transactional data is nothing but which frequently changes, which get frequently changed. Next one, master data. Master data. It will not change. What is master data? The data which is not going to change frequently, very frequently. Master data. Okay. So okay, master data. And in transactional data, whether it moved, okay, no transportation, TR not generate. Here, if you post any entry, TR will not generate. Okay, in master data also in SAP easy access screen, TR will not be generated. Okay, TR will not be generated. Okay, next one, in SPRO screen, we have customization data, customization data, or customization or configuration data. Okay. So for each configuration and each customization, each step, it will generate sorry. Each configuration, each customization, it will generate a transport request. It will generate a transport request. So what kind of transport request? TR can be generated. not can be, can generate. So how many types of TRs we have? How many types of TRs we have?
2 types.
What are they?
One is benchmarks,
Not
modification
benchmark.
and modification.
Workbench
Modification
and
transport,
customized.
workbench request.
Yeah, customized transport request. So consultant, whatever we do, that is nothing but customized TR or workbench TR. Workbench TR. Is this clear? Understood? So in SAP, we have only two screens, SAP Easy Access screen and SPRO screen. Okay. And so we will post in SAP Easy Access screen, we will maintain master data. We will do transactions, posting of entries. So whatever things we do in SAP Easy Access screen, then they will not be generate any TR. Remember that. And in SPRO screen, whatever customization, whatever development, whatever configurations we do, almost all, everything will generate a TR. Clear? Fine. So here, so for example, how to create a server, how to create, okay, how to view, first of all, write down, how to view, first of all, how to view TRs in the system, already existing TRs in the system. Understood? How to view the TRs already existing in the system. Just write down transaction code, write it down, it's very important. Transaction code SC1 means to view the TRs in the system. Okay, SCC1. I'll show you that in SAP. This is my this one. So type SC1 in the command field. Okay.
So what's the T code? I didn't know.
SCC1. SCC1. Okay. SC1. Source client. What is my source client? Or else, what we can do is, for example, SCC4, write down, or else it's better SCC4. SCC4 to view the transport request. See here. Or else, first of all, write down to view the clients. After that, we will go to view the clients. To view the clients in the system. T code. So what are the clients you have in your system? Right? You are working, you entered first time in your this one development client. So you want to view what are the clients are available. Okay. So transaction code is SCC4. SCC4. Transaction code is SCC4. Okay. Next one. To view the TRs in the system, SCC1. So here I'll go to see, these are the clients we have 800, 810, 811. As I said, that 000. Okay. This is your training version 0001, 066. You will find early watch client, right? You will find these three in your real time also, apart from your regular client. Okay. Next one, SCC1. Okay. Source client. What is my source client? 800 client. Okay. Transport request numbers. So if you want to check your transport request, what is already there in the system, then just click here. Okay. Click on execute. See here, workbench request, customizing request. Okay. So just click on execute. See here. You can find what are already existing transport requests.
Navin, can you show it again?
I'll show you again. So transaction code is SCC1. SC1. Okay. So here you can give your client, what is your client, which client you want to see, or else you can see here your clients, all the clients here. Instead of SCC4, you can see all the clients here. Okay. Client 800, I'm selecting. Okay. See here. And press enter. Oh, sorry. Okay. This is the client and give your, this is by default, it will take Y01K. Fine. Click on execute. That's it. So you will find whatever requests are transport requests are exist in the system already existing clients. Okay, existing transport request we can view here. SCC1. SCC4 is to view the clients in the system. SCC1 to view the transport requests. Okay, next one.
Nothing like you can view those clients which are created by you only, or you can
No,
view.
everyone, any client. Did I mention anywhere user?
No, but I have created one transport request. I cannot see it there.
Sorry.
I have one transport request which I cannot see it there. I can see everything is on your name, so I got.
Okay, see here. See here.
Okay.
Who is the owner? If you remove, so probably you can view it. If we are using same server. See here. Dayakar, Spandana, SRUSTY, Spandana, right? Indian client. So all the clients here. So probably you will find here.
Got it.
Okay. Fine. So next one. Somebody asked one question, how to create a client? Client we won't create. Client will be created by basis consultants. Clear? Clients we won't create. Client will be created by basis consultants. Next.
Got it.
Yeah. Next one. Find a request. So to create a transport request. To create a transport request. Okay. Okay. Create a transport request. 1 second, I'll come. I'll just be back. Give me a second time. Sorry. Okay. Create a transport request. So how to create a transport request? Transport request. Transaction code. T code is either SE09 or SE10. Two transaction codes. SE09 or if you want to create a transport, normally whenever we create any changes, then automatically it will, at the time of saving, it will, okay. But initially you want to create a first transport request and after that you want to create a company or company code, anything. Then first we can create a transport request. Then after that we can create the objects, right? So I'll show you that SE09. This is, see here. We have customizing request, workbench request, transport of copies, relocation. So we don't require these two, but we need to understand these two. Clear? So this is nothing but customization request. So uncheck this workbench request. Clear? Uncheck this workbench request. It's not required for us. Workbench request will be performed by who? ABAPETS. So click on create option. Click on create option. So to create the transport request or to release the transport request, we can use this particular transaction code. I'll show you later. So click on create. Okay. So customize the request or so here click on OK button. Workbench request, it's not required. Transport of copies, whatever it is there, same thing it will show here. So we required only customize the request. Click on OK button. Okay, you can give a short description. Okay, I am giving it as a TR testing. Okay, TR testing. Automatically it will give you SRUSTY, whatever last changes and with the time. Okay, click on save button. Automatically request number will be get generated here as we know that. So what we saw earlier, after creation of company or then we try to save it, then it used to ask this particular create request option. But before that also we can create a request and after that you can save everything in this particular request number. So if you click on save option SE09, you can see now. So here there are two requests will be created. One is main request and sub request. Main request and parent request and child request. Clear? Understood. Whenever we have created two requests, one request, but automatically system will create it sub request. That is nothing but your child request. Understood everyone? So whenever we create one request, we say one company code. So whatever transport request it will be created two requests. One is a parent request, another one is child request, a kind of backup. Clear? So at the time of movement from development client to within development client, then first we need to move the child. The next we need to move parent. Okay, within the client and within the server also we need to give we need to move this particular client for this particular transport request, child transport request, and after that we need to move parent. But what is a transport request? We have to give to basis consultant. Okay, the parent transport request, we are not supposed to give both. We are supposed to give parent transport request number to basis consultant. Parent transport request to basis consultant. Is that clear? Any questions? Yes, no?
No, sir.
Clear from my end.
Yeah. So same thing we will see in SE10 also. See here, understood, right? So here I'll show you SE10 also. So, see here, you can find the same screen. Fine, same thing, you can need to click on create button, right? Click on OK button and give your object description. Any questions? Any questions?
No.
Naveen,
Yes, sir.
whenever we are moving the transport request to another server,
Mhm.
so do we maintain a copy or else everything will be moved over there?
Everything will be moved. If you are given a number, right? Source number from source client to transport, everything will be get moved.
Okay.
Moved in the sense it will exist in your development server also, the objects.
Okay.
Okay, it's not like our Windows move, cut, copy and paste.
Okay.
Okay, the same
And
question he has, right?
suppose I have created one transport request unnecessarily, which I want to delete. Can we do that?
That will be done by basis. Okay. Yeah. For example, I'll say one example. For example, see, So this is done, SE03. Now we want to move. So in development server, for example, we are in development server. Now find the request and execute. Okay, so find the request, write down the transaction. Find the request and execute. T code as transaction code is SE03. SE03. Okay, SE03. Transaction code is SE03. So for example, now I'm going in SE03 transaction code /n SE. Okay, now, so here there are a lot of options: object in request, objects directory. So request or tasks. So here click on find requests. Find requests. Okay, so here click on find request. As I said, that request or task, this will be taken automatically. User, right? What is a modifiable, right? Select the modifiable, click on execute. Click on execute. Correct. So here, what is a transport request? Again, you can see all the transport requests. All the transport requests. Now click on which transport request you want to move to quality to, also development to quality, or within development. So first click on place the cursor here. Place the cursor on your child request. Place the cursor on your child request. Okay. Then next you can see here release directly. Okay. Place the cursor on release right on in SE03 transaction code. In SE03 transaction code, it will display all the transport requests. Okay, it will display all the transport requests. Out of that, select the transport request which we want to move. Okay, next, keep the cursor on child request. Keep the cursor on child request. Keep the cursor on child request and select release directly. Select release directly. Within the bracket, write down truck option. Truck option. Okay. Still going on. So subtask and main task, you can call it as an child request and parent request you can call. Okay, two questions here. How many transport requests will be get created? Okay, has been released. You can see here, has been released. Fine. After this, see here, object list released. You can see here. Okay, next one, parent. Click on parent. After that, put the cursor on parent transport request. Put the cursor on parent transport request and click on truck button. Release directly. Click on release directly option. See here, released. Clear? It has been released. Complete. You can see here, released. Okay, this is one. Actually, we don't have now where it will be moved automatically. It will move to your quality system. Here we don't have one system, so we can do in this only. This is the way. So same thing you can do in quality system. You need to go to quality system. Okay, you can use the same transaction code SE03. Okay, you can check in SE03 and you can find your request, and from that you can select the child directory, child system. Okay, then next you need to click on truck. So from it will move to your quality to development, both parent and child you can move. Okay, then next that transport request, parent transport request. Okay, main transport request, you need to give your what you call basis consultant, because we can't show here because it's not a real-time system that how it has moved to production system. So this is the way what we are going to do. So here it is showing if at all any error, then it will show error here. But here if it is showing released, then it's moved. Clear everyone? Any questions on this? Any questions? So what are the different transaction code? What is SEC1, SEC4, right? SE10, okay, SE09 and SE03. Okay, and one more thing we have, there is a one more transaction code. I'll show you that whether we have. So write down whether it is moved or imported or not. So transaction code is STMS to import the transport request. Write down. In real time, we are going to see this. To import, after moving everything, to import transport request from one server to another server. Transaction code is, this is new transaction code. Okay. Transaction code is STMS underscore import. STMS underscore import. I'll show that. Import. STMS underscore import. Okay. So give here /n STMS underscore import. See here. Here we don't have this option. We can't work, but it will show STMS underscore import in real time. Okay. So what happens? It will show you again the list of all the transport requests which are moved to development server. Okay. From development to quality server. Okay. In that, the last transport request, whatever we move. Okay. Then that will be show at the bottom. Okay, so normally what happens? It will show in gray diamond color. Okay, then we need to click on refresh button number of times. Then it will turn into yellow color, and after that it will considered as a green, gray to green color. That's it. This is very important. TMS underscore STMS underscore import. This particular transaction code. Here we don't have that option because we don't have a quality server here. Any questions here? Yeah. See here, import queue could not be read because we don't have here quality server. Yes, sir. Any questions from anyone? This is about your complete end-to-end transport request part. Yes, no. Am I audible, everyone?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Nothing from my end.
Anyone have anything?
No, Naveen.
Okay. This is again, at least you will get real-time questions on a transport request. So have you ever worked on transport request? What do you mean by workbench request? What do you mean by customized request? Clear? Have you ever worked with ABAPer? Means you can take few scenarios, whatever I have given example. Clear? Just make a note of it, interview point of view question. Same thing, like this one, real time. I have prepared that, but still I'm asking you, like you can say that PDF format after printout, they need an portrait format or A4 size format, which is by default SAP is providing portrait. Same thing, we have written again, I'll show you this how to prepare validations and how to write a code, how to give a conditions on this one, substitutions. It's a complete 3-hour session it will take. I'll mostly I'll take in next week, this next Saturday session on validations and substitutions. Okay. Any other questions apart from this? And next week again, I'll take same thing. See, weekend session. I'll take one number of sessions on ABAP also. ABAP in the sense IDocs part. Next week, I'm going to take next Saturday or Sunday. Once we are done with the validation and substitution, I'll continue with what we call IDocs part. IDocs part, we need to have a knowledge on ABAP also a bit, not complete programming knowledge, but still that an additional session I'm going to take on ABAP. Clear? What are the different things we ABAP will do and all that stuff.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Naveen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Naveen.
Thank you.